With off-season work well underway, let's talk about the offensive line.
Inside, and a beauty! Hall running free! Brees Hall inside the 10! He's gonna score!
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and today we're going to be talking about the offensive line. Specifically, there's been obviously a lot of questions and comments with all of the, press conferences and stuff regarding rookie minicamp with the New York Jets and what the plan is in the offensive line. And we're seeing a lot of these conflicting reports. I'm going to try to make sense of it on where do I think Mekhi Becton is going to play on the offensive line, because that's the biggest question mark is Mekhi Becton going to play right tackle? Is Mekhi Becton going to play left tackle? Because if you say best five, Mekhi Becton is one of the best five offensive linemen that the New York Jets have. That's period. That's not a question about anything. It's not a question about ability. Mekhi Becton arguably is the best left tackle on this team. Period. The problem with Mekhi has been his health, and that's just the reality of it. Now, Mekhi Becton recently tweeted out a comment that has then since been deleted that says, "I am a left tackle," with periods and an exclamation point between all the words. Makes a ton of sense. Obviously, when you look at, his feelings and what he wants to do. But then we got the report that came from the Buffalo Jet fan through one of the beat reporters for the New York Jets that as of right now, Mekhi Becton is slated to play the left tackle position. Like, it's his job to lose. And I think the fair assessment is that it is his job to lose, and it should be his job to lose. The New York Jets' best left tackle right now is Mekhi Becton. Now, the question becomes, if Mekhi Becton truly is the left tackle of this football team, what does that spell for the right tackle spot? We know that the best five for this offensive line would be and should be Dwayne Brown, Mekhi Becton, Laken Tomlinson, Joe Tippmann, and Elijah Vera Tucker. Those would be our best five offensive linemen. Now, the question would be, can you really ask Dwayne Brown, a football player that we had convinced to come back for his, whatever, I think it's like 14th or 15th year at the age of 38, 39 to play right tackle, a spot that he's never played in his career? Doesn't seem to be a logical option. I always looked at Dwayne Brown as insurance for Mekhi Becton, but then that leaves the right tackle spot. And now we have to have a conversation of, well, who's going to play and who's going to win out the right tackle spot? So let's talk about a couple of those names and what this might mean. So obviously, the number one option would be Mekhi Becton, right? You put Dwayne Brown on the left side, Mekhi Becton on the right side, and then you say a year from now, Mekhi, we're going to extend you. If you play healthy, you do all that stuff, and you can play left tackle, and there you go. And that works out kind of for everybody. Maybe Mekhi's not too happy with that. But if Mekhi Becton does truly win the left tackle job, like Robert Saleh said in his press conference when asked, go win the job. If he does win the job, well, right tackle now becomes a conversation between Billy Turner, Max Mitchell, and Carter Warren, with probably the favorite being like a Billy Turner or Max Mitchell competition. Now, my expectation, and you know the love that I have for Max Mitchell on this channel and my thoughts about him, I think that Max Mitchell should be the right tackle if that's the case. A lot of people are going to look at the grades and the information and the stats when you look at Max Mitchell last year, and that's a fair assessment when you look at, all of the things that we saw from him. But when you take into consideration all of the, the reps and all of the things that he had to deal with and being asked to play maybe a year or two early, being asked to play a right tackle spot that on an offensive line that was in such massive turmoil, and he was playing like 15 to 30 pounds underweight. What was the biggest comment and what was the biggest thing about Max Mitchell coming out after we drafted him? He needs to put on weight. He's a developmental tackle. Well, he was asked to start almost immediately, and then when asked to start, did relatively well. He did give up 14 pressures in the games and in the time that he started, which is not a great number. That's a lot of pressure given up. He only took one penalty last year, but I think that he was playing from a position of disadvantage, right? He was playing at a position that weight is so important, and he wasn't playing at his weight. Given this offseason and given a year in the system, I think that Max Mitchell can take a big step in the right direction. It's an interesting question, and the tackle competition moving forward is super interesting. But if Mekhi Becton is slated at the left tackle, Carter Warren and Max Mitchell really need to step up, because one of those two guys, I think, is going to be starting at right tackle. And when you've got Aaron Rodgers at under center, you got to protect him. Let me know what you guys think the best offensive line situation would be. Do you agree that the best offensive line would be Dwayne Brown and Mekhi Becton in whatever order that you put them in? Can we really ask Dwayne Brown to play right tackle this late into his career? Let me know in the comment section below. And last but not least, go Jets.